Loveland, Colorado, a city tucked gently into the quiet folds of northern Colorado's foothills. A place so undisturbed that the distant hum of traffic or the whir of a lawnmower usually marked the low. William Canol was the kind of man you hope to become. A veteran, a craftsman, a grandfather with a loud laugh and louder socks. His humor-filled rooms, his kindness-filled hearts. After surviving Kank, that night, William did something he often did to clear his mind and settle into sleep. He took a late-night walk around his Loveland neighborhood. It was a walk he'd done countless times before. Same, but around 10:50 p.m., William's life ended in a moment of terrifying finality. A shotgun blast tore through the night. A witness driving by would later tell 911. "There's a man lying here. He's bleed." To the outside world, the scene was baffling. It wasn't a robbery, nothing was taken. He had no enemies. There was no confrontation, no shouting. Only the unmistakable violence of a shotgun and a TRU. Just 15 minutes before William was killed, another man, Donald Cronister, had been shot at while riding his motorcycle just a few blocks away. He wasn't hit, but the bullets had grazed him. Like, soon, investigators would connect William's murder to 2 other similar cases in the area. Corey Romero had been shot in the neck in April on the highway. She survived. And cyclist John Jacoby killed. The public grew nervous. "This doesn't happen here," neighbors said. But it was happening, and the randomness made it worse. He was just a guy walking down the street. William's sister Mary would laugh. Loveland, once known for its murals and quiet charm, descended into fear. Streets emptied. Kids stayed indoors. Doors were locked by sundown. The city felt stalked by something invisible. For years, the case dragged with no arrest. Over 5,000 leads followed. Over 1,000 interviews. More than 300,000 phone records analyzed. They combed through 14,000 similar trucks. Still, nothing stuck. A truck that matched the description had been there, and the driver, Christopher Parker, had caused a scene accusing the bank of stealing from him. The employees remembered the truck. Old, orangey, L. Detectives pulled Parker's name and found his social media full of images of him painting the truck white, of rants about the government and businesses, of general paranoia. And then, the real find. But Walmart had no record of a return. In fact, they didn't even allow firearm returns. The receipt even included Parker's own signature, and right at the bottom, "No returns on firearms, the lies be." When investigators brought him in, Parker admitted to being in the area the night William was killed. He admitted to following Donald on his motorcycle. He even mentioned that William was wearing head. But when the questioning turned sharper, Parker clammed up. He asked for a lawyer, and just like that, the walls closed in. He was arrested on March 13, 2018, nearly 3 years after the murder. That arrest finally gave William's family a sense of forward movement. His friend David Frank said, "I've been sitting here for 5 years, in the same mental spot, trying to wrap my head around why." But justice wasn't swift. Parker's mental health soon became a major issue in the case. In 2017, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. By 2018, he was deemed incompetent to stand trial. At one point, Sadie, William's granddaughter, said she felt her community had been blown apart. Her grandfather was the compass of their family. "Even now, I still look up to him," she said. "He was my idol." In 2021, Christopher Parker was finally deemed competent to stand trial. At first, he pleaded not guilty, but before the trial began, he changed his plea to guilty to a lesser charge of second-degree. The judge's voice was steady but stern. "This outcome delivers justice to a man who terrorized our community, but the irreparable harm he caused can never be reversed, and that's the haunting truth." William's death was random. A man out for a walk, not bothering anyone, gunned down by a stranger with no motive. And even now, Christopher Parker has never said why he did it. Maybe he never will. But what remains clear is this: William Canol deserved more than to be remembered for how he died. He should be remembered for how he lived. For his laugh, for the sawdust in his workshop, for the lawn. His family has since honored him with a bench at his college and a donation fund for local education, a fitting legacy for a man who loved to teach, who loved to build, but in the podcast, I'm narrative. And in those silent streets of Loveland, on that corner where William fell, you still feel it, the aftershock of a senseless act. A place forever marked by what should never have happened. Because William wasn't just a victim. He was a father, a grandfather, the man with the loud socks who taught his kids to laugh through life. And that, more than anything, is worth remembering. Default.